Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I am Judy Krienke Giss. And for those who know me, I am still Judy Krienke Giss. Actually, some of you know me as the Hat Lady. Today we speakers chose the musical interludes. I chose Here I Am, Lord, one of my favorite hymns. This hymn is based on Isaiah 6, verse 8, and also expresses the word of Moses at the burning bush in Exodus 3, verse 4. It expresses my openness to God and that I continue to be here at Manhattan Beach Community Church for a spiritual connection. Here I am, Lord. I came to this church 9 months before I was born. My parents, Oliver and Carol Krienke, were members here since 1940. I was baptized 63 years ago in the old 9th and Highland Church building. Yep, here I am, Lord. When I was born, our home was across the street from the church. My parents later told me that when they came from Minnesota, they looked for a church home and tried many churches. They did not want to accept a church just because it was across the street. So the Manhattan Beach Community Church was the last they tried, and it was the one they liked the best. Here I am, Lord. My first memory of the church is walking across the street when I was about 3 years old, holding my mother's and grandmother's hands. I was wearing my Sunday dress, my hat, and my gloves. We were on our way to Sunday morning services. Here I am, Lord, and I am still wearing hats to church. As long as I can remember, church was an integral part of our life, and we were at our church several times a week. It was like an extension of our home, as most of my relatives were there on a regular basis. My grandmother, Ethel Purdon, with my immediate family, along with uncles, aunts, and cousins of the Purdons, Johnsons, Hunter, Krienke clan. There are 20 of us. You know Aunt Ruth Purdon and Diane Denny, and my sister, Diane Denny, my sister, and my cousin, Linda Purdon Cole. They are here today. We were growing up in the church. When we were growing up in the church, most of the adults knew us kids by name. The whole congregation was our church family. It is appropriate that the junior choir is putting on the play Tom Sawyer. As kids, the adults of the church taught us that it was fun and a privilege to pump the bellows of the old organ. You know, pump them. 10 kids were chosen each Sunday. Each kid got to pump 5 times and then go to the back of the line to eagerly wait for the next turn at having the fun. When the organ music was loud and fast, it had to be a man pumping the bellows, since we kids were not strong enough to keep up with the air needed. We thought it was unfair that he never had to go to the back of the line. They also taught us kids about the great fun and privilege of pouring the juice into the little tiny communion glasses and putting them into the little holes in the silver trays. And then after the service, collecting the glasses from all the pews. They taught us kids that it was fun and a privilege to go to choir rehearsal on Thursdays and sing at 2 services on Sunday. They taught us that it was fun and a privilege for everyone to make the church a wonderful place of spirituality and friendship. The nature of my faith became more mature as I got older. My connection with the church continued even though the church itself moved here to Peck. God moved too. And I said, here I am, Lord. In junior high and high school, I assisted with the Sunday school programs, sang in the various choirs, went to Pilgrim Pines Church Camp for many summers, was active in the United Church Youth, and attended many conferences representing the Manhattan Beach Community Church Youth, along with regularly attending services on Sundays. In confirmation class, we studied our religion and various others. We visited and experienced different church services as well as a Jewish service at Temple Menorah. Little did I know, I graduated from Maricosta High School. Go Mustangs! Received a Manhattan Beach Community Church scholarship and went to Arizona State University. Go Sun Devils! When I asked the head of the humanities department who had the best church choir in town, he said it was the fancy new Methodist church. Turns out that he was the choir director. I went to choir rehearsal on Thursdays and sang at their 9 a.m. Sunday service and attended the Tempe Community Church 11 a.m. service for the spirituality and the sermons. 2 services each Sunday. It was still fun and a privilege to go to choir practice on Thursdays and 2 services on Sunday. Here I am, Lord. I met Ken Giss in the hall of the business building. I got this Jew to attend services with me at the community church. Ken got even taking me to Friday night Jewish services. Reverend Dalrymple, the minister at the community church, was very welcoming of Ken and myself, and even without any advanced notice, recruited us to teach Sunday school when the regular teacher did not show up. Ken said, "But I'm not even Christian." And the minister answered, "You Jews have such good stories about the Old Testament, you will do fine." So we taught the class for several weeks. Ken says that 45 years later, a community church is still calling on us to teach. We had lost contact with Reverend Dalrymple, but it turns out that he is a friend of Reverend Michael Obenauer, and Reverend Michael helped us reestablish contact. Small world, and here I am, Lord. Ken and I got married in 1967 with the blessing of our parents. Judge Raymond Choate of this church did the ceremony since there was no established protocol for a minister or a rabbi to marry a Jew and a Christian. It was the wonderful accepting attitude of the Manhattan Beach Community Church that allows Ken to feel comfortable here. 43 married years later, here I am, Lord, or is it, here we are, Lord? Over the years, Ken studied to become a Jewish rabbi and received letters of recommendation from both Rabbi Leon Kahane and Reverend John Calhoun of this church. Rabbi Ken still comes here to church with me on Sundays, and I go Fridays and Saturdays with him to temple. Yes, here I am, Lord, the only member of this church married to a rabbi. Last year, I was diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia and lymphoma, and 95% of my bone marrow was cancerous. With the help of good doctors, your well wishes, and your prayers on my behalf, I faced the cancer, the 4 months of chemo, and other medical procedures. With your spiritual support and God standing with me, in March of this year, I had a PET scan which showed the cancer completely gone. I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank God. Thank you, God. Still, here I am, Lord. They tell me that I am here today to represent the established older generation. Well, when did I become the older generation? I still see myself as that little girl with her Sunday outfit, including the hat. Besides, most Sundays we sit behind Kit and Glenn Patmore. Glenn has been at the church for 81 years. Now that is established. One Sunday, not long ago, I heard a little girl who was sitting with her mother in the pew behind us. The little girl prayed out loud in a full voice, "Our Father, who art in heaven," without regard as to who heard her. She spoke to God with conviction and knowing. Her recitation brought shivers to me, for I was also saying the same prayer. It has strong meaning for me. It was as fresh and meaningful to her as it was for me as a little girl in the pew with my mother and grandmother so many years ago. The Manhattan Beach Community Church has been, is, and will be a place for me, a place for you, and a place for that little girl, a place for all to come for strength, friendship, and the spiritual relationship with God. Thank you, precious little girl, for renewing my enthusiasm and reminding me that it is not the buildings that make the church a spiritual home for all. It is all the wonderful people coming together as family, church family, that makes the Manhattan Beach Community Church a great house of God. God is still speaking here, and here I am, Lord. Thank you very much.